Hey guys, I'm gonna do a quick video on some soldering tips or soldering tips, whatever you want to call it. Um, I've wired up quite a few people's cars just because of like how my wiring looks, and I don't do anything special, but I don't know. Maybe these tips will come in handy. I already got these wires spliced down. We're gonna get the wire ready first. We're gonna tin the tip of the wire here, and when you do, this is a homemade tool obviously, but it works well. You don't want it aimed up or straight out. You want it to be aimed downward. You definitely want this down. So when this tip is hot and it's liquefied, if it's pointing upward, solder will run down through the wire and it'll make it stiff. You don't want that. All you want is just on the very end. So we're gonna do that real quick. You want to make sure that you have a good iron and that it's hot. My iron, I keep it about 825 degrees for the bigger stuff. This is probably about the norm 12 gauge wire, because you want to be able to hit it. Not so much doing this. Sitting on this isn't bad. On the wire is not bad, but you don't want to have a iron that is not hot enough and you're sitting on your ESC or your motor or whatever it might be forever. So basically, I just get the end of the wire hot and then just touch it. And I mean, I'm basically breaking off pieces there. And then I'll go underneath. You'll see it liquefy again and then let it kind of take shape. And then there you go. Clean the tip a lot. You always want to keep it clean. So you can see how that looks. But yet, well, it's probably, excuse me, it's probably too hot to grab. But this is still all flexible. Okay, so that's what you want. So I'll do another one here just so you guys can kind of see that again. This one has a little more wire exposed. Clean the tip again. I'm on the side, hit it and get it started. You'll start to see it liquefy and travel through the wire. Go to the end, drop some more, go underneath. You're underneath with the iron, but you're still on top with the solder, and just kind of chunk it off on there and good to go. I mean, I don't know if you can really get too much on there. Any excess will just run off. I mean, you can see how it looks, but you want to make sure that you have plenty. So spin the wire around and make sure that it's all good. So that's how you want to prep any wire, going to a connector, going to an ESC, going to your motor tabs, so on and so forth. So see, we'll do these. I just got some connectors out of my box that we'll do. I'm gonna put them in here. You definitely don't want to hold on to these. This almost represents a tab like you would see on an ESC. So find a hole that's, there we go. So first I'm gonna, this one has been used, this one's not. So I'm gonna prep this just like you would your motor tabs or anything else. So this, you don't want to go overboard. You basically just want to get just a little pool. Hopefully you guys can see this. So I'm gonna get it a little warm, then I'm gonna start touching it and you'll see it liquefy. And then you want to move it around. So basically it looks the same, a little tiny pool in the bottom, but it's now silver. And I'll show that to you guys up close. So you can see this one right here, and you can see how that looks. So it's not dripping off and all goopy and crazy looking. So, so now, basically the only thing we got to do now is connect the wire. So start with the connector, get that hot, get that puddle pulled up again, and when you see it liquefy, go ahead and drop the connector in there, push down, a little shake back and forth, and you'll basically see it turn into one solid puddle, and then you can let go. So this looks good. You can see how that looks. I mean, it looks clean, it's not excessive. Yeah, let me pull it out of here. So you can see how that looks. Looks pretty good. But I'm kind of weird, so I'm gonna tell you what I do at this point in my car. I actually will add more because I like the top. You want that wire pushed down in against the connector or the tab, whatever it might be. But on the top side, I like to have basically, I don't want to see the wire. So I'll show you the difference now. I just basically added to the top. This just, I know no one's really staring at our solder or solder joints, but this just makes it look better. So it's still pretty hot, but so you guys can see how that looks a little bit better now, I hope. So yeah, that's about it. Show you the same thing on this other one. We'll go straight down with this one. This one's been used, so I'm just gonna kind of refresh it, get that wet look in there, get it pooled up, and then let's see, get it hot. So as soon as this touches it, the wire will start to liquefy too again. Give it a little back and forth. And this would represent like an ESC tab, or obviously a bullet. So you can see what that looks like. Nice and clean. And once you hit that with shrink wrap, it'll be nice and smooth. It won't have the rough edges. You don't want any points or anything on this where when you shrink wrap it, it'll want to poke through or rip your shrink wrap. You want it to look nice and uniform, just like that. So that's pretty much it, guys. Make sure you got a good iron. Make sure it's good and stays hot. Make sure you prep the wire always facing downward. Liquefy it on the tab or the connector. Drop the wire in there. Push the wire down to the tab or connector, and see what it looks like. And that should do it. And if you want to add a little to the top just to get a little better of a look, like, you know, something like you see there, then you can do that. But you don't want the wire on top and then tons of solder between the wire and the connector or the tab. You want that low. So I'm NoPro. That's just what I do. Hopefully you guys find it helpful. All right. Thanks, guys.